Hi there, LinkedIn family. Jonathan here again from Some Talented People. And this is the final episode in the relationship between the brain and wellness. We're joined again by Koti, Abraham, and Professor Jerry. And today's episode is is definitely some practical advice and practical tips that you can implement immediately. As I've said before in previous posts, the journey to mental wellness is a marathon, not a sprint. And practicing alternative techniques, whatever resonates with you on a regular basis, is the difference between rising up from where we all are now, which is quite low, to a better human consciousness than we had even before COVID struck us. So we're going to have tips, and first of all, we'll go to, I want to know what I can do to make a mindful choice. If I download the book, for example, what is it going to tell me to do that's going to help me? That's what I want. This is not about us being clever. It's about us helping people.
Number one, to realize that your past does not condition your future.
Okay.
You can choose your future, but you need also not to be totally invested in the future, but be present in the moment, open to the future. That's number one. Number two, you want to realize that you still have many choices and you still can decide of what your quality of life and your well-being will be during the time of COVID. And you don't let COVID to dictate what is your way of life. So you have a choice to say, I can beat it, I can protect me, I can work better, I can work all over the world from my computer, and I can do a lot of things. So you need to reanalyze, reorganize, reprioritize, and you decide what you will be, how you will be operating, but you have that choice and that decision, because everything in your life is a matter of choice, including your own misery.
So I would challenge you on that and speak for normal people. So I'm like Koti, a neuro-linguistic program user for over 24 years, and I accept that the premise of beliefs are merely perspectives on reality. You just suggested 10, 20 things that people should do in their thinking, and I think it's like we could do one of those things an episode. So let's go Koti next.
Yes, Jonathan, we live now as our life before COVID. It was everything wonderful, and it was not that way. We were complaining also before. We forget, and maybe we must be aware that if we train our thinking, we change our feelings, we change our behavior, we change our life. Your mind will take you the place you train it to be.
How do you train it?
I work with my students. It's 30 years I'm working as in personal growth groups, and you can train people in 5 minutes to hypnotize yourself, to take your mind the place you want to be, and immediately after 5 minutes you feel better, you breathe, you smile, and this is the best place you can be. We never been happy before. We can find now a better place for being. It's not only about anxiety, depression. No, we have very good moments now, and our mind is the GPS. Tell your mind the place you want to be. It will take you there. If you train your subconscious mind, it's with no effort. It sounds magic, but this is magic.
Okay, all right. I can see that certainly over the series of these episodes, we're going to get down to some more basic advice, because I listen. I hear what you're saying, and I can make it happen the way you can, but that's after years of practice. And
Okay.
I think it's beyond most people.
Okay, one tip. We have here 1 point, 3 fingers,
Yep.
1 point in the middle.
Mhm.
You can press there and you start immediately lowering your anxiety,
Ooh.
sleeping better, and breathing deeply. This is
That-
good for you?
That is what I call a top tip. Come on. Excellent. LinkedIn fans, go and do that. Okay, Jerry, give us your wisdom in a minute.
Well, wisdom in a minute. We are each of us gods in our own universe, and we're here to play. And so you can play in this sandbox or on that slide or wherever you want to do. And the only function of God, only one, is to create. So we create all the good, we create all the not so good, we label it as good or not so good, but we're doing whatever it is that we're doing. So I can tell you from personal experience this year, I have a number of issues. I am 73 years old, and I have maybe like Brenda Milner, a neuropsychologist at McGill. She's 122 and still publishing. I'm going to give it maybe 20 more years. So what do I want to do? Do I want to sit down with COVID, or do I want to push my work? Well, of course I'm going to push my work. So what happened for me this year was I finished with 3 doctoral students, 2 books, a contract with a 14-book series on rehabilitation sciences, 12 papers, 4 grants. My wife and I are doing great. We haven't seen the kids, but that's going to change too. They're in the United States and God knows where. So the point of all of this is very simple. Do what you're going to do. Just make it positive. And the only one who can declare it positive is you. So,
Okay.
do it.
Well, I think what I'd say then, and clearly I'm going to have to be the Simon, what's this, Simon Cowell? I'm going to be the Simon Cowell of these interview things. That sounds like a fantastic year for you. And that's great. I am talking to the people, so a lot of my connections on Top Person Ambassador Program in Africa and developing economies, and they're struggling to eat. So yeah, definitely what Coty gave me was brilliant. I think you guys are a little bit intellectual. I can deal with it, but I just want our viewers to actually get some real advice. Be positive is great advice, but it's hard to conceptualize. What can you do? You're a neuroscientist, so I can think of 10 neuroscientist things now to change your state. Give us one of them.
What have you been wanting to do for the past year that you haven't? Pick it, think about it, and do it. And if you do it during the time that you're locked down with COVID, you might actually learn not only that you'll get it done, but that you actually have the power to get anything done. It's just a function of your decision. Decide. It's not a difficult thing to decide. So decide which
Excellent.
one of these 10 things you want to do. Do it.
Excellent. All right, and yeah, I'll go for that. So decide. Decide is a really big one
Choose.
in any change. We
Choose.
feel
Choose.
disempowered, and when we feel disempowered, we don't choose. We accept. Choose by if the one thing that comes out of this series is this, that you start to think, do I have a choice? And then look for verification that, oh yeah, actually I do have a choice, and you'll start to see it. So thanks very much for everyone. Very highbrow intellectual stuff. I'm going to make it more base over time. This is the first episode really, so rock on. Thank you very much everyone for contributing, and
Thank you, Jonathan.
Bye-bye.
hello to
Bye.
everyone's network. Cool. Okay, so hopefully those tips are of use to you. This series was the second actually in a whole series of posts about mental wellness. Reach out and connect with the people in these conversation panels because they have resources and information that will help you. I'll be coming back. I won't tease you with the subjects of our next discussions, but keep an eye out because we're going to cover a great deal of ground and make some real differences to the way people are experiencing life. Be well, have a nice day, and I'll see you again.